gonna do when you grow up and have to face responsibility? Will you spend your days and nights in the pool? Will you sell cats of madness to the neighborhood little ghetto boy? You already know how rough life can be.
I like the original version better. So much pain and misery.
Right now, get up to $120 back by mail on a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires.
Little ghetto boy playing in the ghetto street. What you gonna do when you grow up and have to face responsibility? Will you spend your days and nights in a pool room? Will you sell cans of madness to the neighborhood little ghetto boy? You already know how rough life can be. 'Cause you see so much pain and misery. Little ghetto boy, your daddy was blown away. He robbed that grocery store. Don't you know that was a sad, sad old day? All of your young life you've seen such misery and pain. The world is a cruel place and it ain't gonna change. You're so young, you've got so far to go. But I don't think you'll reach your goal, young man, hanging by the golden door. Look out, son.
Hey man, my content is for educational purposes only. Can't stress enough for you guys to do your own research. None of us have lived long enough to know all there is to learn. None of us have been alone. Excuse me, y'all. None of us have been alive long enough to learn all there is to learn, and none of us can live long enough to learn all there is to learn. Okay. I decided to start doing these videos just a little different, man, because you know, I think it's important, man, because I you know, it ain't enough, you know, a lot of the young brothers, man, they being influenced to do things that, you know, that stifle or stand to stifle their possibilities of having, you know, a future, you know. And I just don't, you know, I don't think, you know, that it's enough people, period, you know, trying to combat that. You know, I watched a video, man, that I think it was labeled, you know, the plan to destroy black boys. And, you know, I forget the brother, you know, that was, you know, giving that lecture. But it basically made sense, man. It was like, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's damn near too late. You know, well, it's definitely too late when they, you know, in between 15 and 18, on some corner lacking direction, it's definitely too late by then. But you got to understand that the heading. If you destroy him while he's a boy, he'll never become a man. And this is, this is one of the main reasons for this video. Just because things don't look bright, don't mean that you can't create brightness in your own life. And I'm not saying that things, sometimes things are called for. Life is hard. They said it in the song. But at the end of the day, man, speaking from somebody that's been there and done it, I do what I always do. I'll talk about me. I come from, a background, man, where there was a lot of trauma. Absentee father, single mother. Outside my front door was everything that you could think about. The underbelly of society, So my idols weren't doctors, lawyers, basketball or football players or musicians, So I get it. Trust me. I understand. When your ribs is touching, it's hard to be positive. It's hard to think positive. When you're around a bunch of negativity, it's hard to escape that. Nobody said life would be fair, But every time you wake up in the morning, you got opportunity, And there's a gold mine in between these ears on every one of us. So it's basically, then, before I even get into it any further, man, we have the 9 series DNA. Contrary to popular belief or opinion, man, those that come from an African bloodline, we embody the most probability for genius. This is why I said on the last video, I think our attention is directed in the wrong way. Our attention is focused in the wrong directions. It's more than just being in the street, as a means for, attaining success. What was I going to say, man? I had something. Let me just go with it. It'll channel back in. But basically, man, it's like, I look at my life, man, and I had opportunities. I could have been an architect, a carpenter. I could have went to college on sports scholarships. But my attention, I want y'all to pay attention. Pay attention. My attention was focused and fixated on what I knew, what I was used to, what I had been exposed to all my life. I had opportunities to do what I'm doing now as a young man. But my attention was not in that direction. My attention was that fast dollar. Not having to follow no rules, even though there were rules where I decided the direction I decided to go in. You know, and as a 45-year-old man, I say this to my daughters all the time. Well, I don't say it as much no more because they get it, you know, but it took me into my 40s, you know, late 30s, early 40s. Well, no, let me get it right. I was in my early 40s when I finally got my life together. And it still wasn't together because I wasn't all the way together. I wasn't where I'm at today. And we talking on the internal level. You know, see, a lot of times, man, you know, we focused on the external things when all the answers reside within. You know, your genius is not on the outside of you, it's within you. You know, the problem with that is we, you know, assimilate to what everybody else is doing at the expense of our creativity and our imagination. Anything the mind can conceive and you believe that you can, you will, if you put forth the effort and don't give up on it. Just think about anything else you've ever done in your life. You know, anything you set your mind on doing and you were adamant and had an emotional attachment to achieving it, excuse me, you chipped at it and chipped at it every day until you got it. So basically, man, you know, the gist of this video is don't sell yourself short. You know, just because everybody else is doing a thing, don't mean you gotta be doing the same thing, you know. And even though there's a percentage of individuals that are followers and do it because it's the thing to do, there are some that do it out of necessity, you know, and a lack of having a positive role model in the form of an example of how to do it another way, you know. And for those, you know, youngsters, you know, younger guys that are, you know, at least have an exit strategy, man, because you know that's, you know, I was just taught how to get the money. I wasn't taught the game. I had to learn that. I had to go to jail and do years to learn those lessons. You know, if you are involved in whatever you're involved in, have an exit strategy, man. Put 70% away, you know, or at least 60% away, at least 60%, you know. Every time you turn something over, put 60% of it away, you know. And in the meantime, in between time, while you know, reaching your exit strategy, the goal, educate yourself, man. All professors in college learned from a book. So when you get a piece of paper stating that you have a degree, you only have a portion of that degree of knowledge. There are 365 degrees of knowledge, you know. And contrary to popular opinion, Ain't no elevator rides to where you want to be at in life. You got to put the work in. You got to navigate your way from where you are to where you want to be. It ain't nobody else's job. I don't give a fuck how good they make it seem. They can't get you there. You know. All you young cats, man, you know. I know it may sound corny to you, man, but we got a port right here in Wilmington, Delaware, man. You know, and I could speak about that, man, because it was my exit strategy from the game. Through that job, which is nothing but a stepping stone in the larger scheme of things, you can deal with it as a career if you choose, because it can be just that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, it allowed me to do things that you couldn't pay me 13 years ago to believe that I would be able to do. And you can make the kind of money, you can outdo the hustlers on the block. Because, first of all, let's be real. The money ain't like it used to be. They got cameras every motherfucking where, you know. Shit's already locked and boxed. Use the creativity of your mind, man. You know. Then on the other side of things, ain't like you in the suburbs, you know, selling it to them, and that don't make it right. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just a lot, man. I mean, I don't want to turn this message into like a preachy type situation, but man, it's a million ways to get money. You know, and trust me when I tell you, man's law ain't the only law you need to be worried about. What you do to others, you do to yourself. If you ain't never heard about universal law, look them up. You know, look them up, man. You know, you must understand. You know, we're being led and taught by the conquerors. The conquerors get to rewrite history. The conquerors get to dictate what's going to be, how it's going to be, when it's going to be, and who's going to run it. I told you, man, like, you know, the thing in a nutshell, man, is that, you know, all of us were born with gifts and talents, man. Search yourself. Stop being so quick to look outside of yourself or give your power to something or someone outside of yourself. And turn your energies inward. And I bet you, I promise you, that along the journey of you learning and knowing thyself, you will discover within yourself something that can take you where you want to be. And it ain't going to be manual labor, you know. See, it's fucked up that nowadays society got you thinking that you can only attain success or wealth through one of their, you know, portals, you know, for lack of a better word. You got to come through us if you want this kind of life. It's a motherfucking lie. And your feet stink. You know. I tell you what it will take. Some heart. To not follow the trends that everybody else is following. It's going to take heart to stand on your own too and be your own person. regardless of what the onlookers got to say, how they perceive it, or what they feel. It take hard to be who you are in a world full of followers. And you know, everybody's not a follower. But when you do what everybody else is doing, you guaranteeing your own mediocrity. You're not distinguishing yourself as yourself. You just another hustler. Or you just another one of them. Another one of these. It take hard to be who you are in today's world, as opposed to doing what's popular, or what everybody else is engaged and involved in. You know? But the thing about it is, man, you know, when you came out the womb, ain't nobody else ever gonna be like you. Nobody is ever gonna be able to do what you do the way you do it. There's your power right there, your individuality. Embrace that. All your gifts and your treasures reside within you. Don't fall victim to, you know, these illusions that they got out there, putting all the flashy, shiny shit in your face, enticing you, you know. Because everything, even your own success has a price, you know. And don't you think for 1 second, just because you're getting away with fucking people around or doing things to people, victimizing people. And listen, I'm only telling you, man, because I know a lot of other cats ain't going to tell you. So if you've been one of the guys or gals that been out there doing wrong to people, don't forget about that when shit start happening to you. And you ain't in control of how it come to you. You ain't in control of how, you know, what type of situations that befall you. You know. But don't forget about all the shit you was doing when shit ain't going right for you. And you can't seem to, you know, get a nice run in. Or you can't seem to stay home. You know, it was a 16-year period I couldn't stay home. And that was for all the shit that I got away with, thought I got away with. Because man's law didn't catch me. See that old Christmas song? You know. Universal law, man. You know. The law of attraction ain't the only one. I know that's one of the most popular, but that is not the only one. You know? And you got to find your niche. You got to find your gift. You know? Because once you find your gift and your purpose and you living within that, all the shit you want, it will come. It'll come. You know? Because again, you got to remember, man, you know, nobody's going to be able to replace you. So in finding your gift and your purpose, nobody's going to be able to do those things, whatever it may be, the way you do it. You ain't got to do all the same shit everybody else doing. You know? And see, the thing is, you know, I'm going to bring to your mind, to the forefront of your mind, shit that you forget about until you're looking at a stretch. Is your mother in good health? You got children. Is their mother able to survive and thrive without your help? if you happen to be the individual that people in your family look toward to make shit happen, how are you dealing with that responsibility? Because you can't do shit for them in the box. You know? And even if it ain't the port, man, whatever you good at, scale and monetize that. Home-based business. Who cares? If you still staying at home with moms, start a business. Home-based business. Look up Dr. Lynn Richardson. She gives you about over 400 tax breaks that you can write off in ways to recoup the money that you put out in erecting and growing your business. Learn how to invest your money. Instead of getting that Coach bag, see how many shares of that Coach stock you can get. Then go buy the Coach bag off the profits of the stock. At least you own shares in the company. You a part owner. We got to start thinking beyond that of the average man. We got to start thinking beyond that of what we've been taught by those that don't give a fuck about us. And I ain't saying that everybody is the same, and don't get it fucked up by any of the videos that you see. I know we not crayons. And I also know that regardless of the complexion of an individual's skin, don't mean that he or she is bad. The enemy doesn't have a color. The enemy has an energy. The enemy has an energy signature. You can have somebody dark as this hat I got on my head. That'll do you worse than somebody that's, pale as the white on this pack of cigarettes. And then in some situations, you'll have somebody pale as this pack of cigarettes that'll do you better than the joker that's dark as this hat. It's an energy signature. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the things that are important, man, you can go to school from pre-K to college. And it's not geared to teach you how to thrive and survive. You ever heard of classism? This is the working class. The working class is at the bottom. For the people that ain't gotta work because they born into money, inherit businesses, brought up and taught the business, sent to school, the best schools, if there is such a thing, And come on, man. It ain't so much about racism no more. It ain't even about that no more. It's about rich and poor. So don't limit yourself, man, to somebody else's ideal for what your life should be or what direction you should go in your life. Make your own goddamn mind up. Make your own mind up, man. You decide for you what's best for you. And if you choose a route that lands you in a fucked up situation, at least you ain't got nobody but yourself to blame. Even if you do follow somebody else's guidance, whether it be right or wrong for your life, you still ain't got nobody else to blame but yourself. So what I'm saying, man, is You know, sometimes you gotta, pump the brakes a little bit and exercise your mind. You know, think. You know, figure out a way. Because trust me, there are ways. You know, don't wait till you sitting down in a jail cell before you figure it out. Because the way things are now, you know, if you make it to a jail cell, you know, you know, we got to stop being selfish, man. You know, and that's we. We got to stop being selfish, man. It's so you know, shallow around the edges, to where as though we feel like everything revolves around us, or that we're entitled to whatever it is that we want at anybody's expense. You know, we ain't doing nothing but being pawns in the game that they laid for us to play. Do some homework on how civilization got to be the way it is today. I've actually done a video on it, History 101. Look it up. You know, I happen to have a library and a law library. And I'll be doing other videos on similar topics. You know, told y'all before, projects are projects, scientific projects, and the outcome projects what they expected. You know, they create circumstances and then come with the bullshit fake ass remedy. Like they ain't the perpetrators. You gotta understand, man. Millionaires, billionaires are made in every war. It's a reason for them. Where are the motherfucking weapons of mass destruction that they kept alleging? You know, it's just a lot, man. But you know, I'm gonna bring it back home. Donny Hathaway, little ghetto boy. Little ghetto boy, playing in the ghetto street. What you gonna do when you grow up and have to face responsibility? Yeah. Yeah. You know. Be your own man, be your own woman. Excuse me. Navigate your own path, man. Don't be nobody's follower. Don't be nobody's flunky. Don't laugh at nobody's corny ass jokes, and don't tap dance for no motherfucking body. You know? Do what you gotta do. Exercise your own moral compass. Decide for yourself what's right and wrong. And don't be influenced by somebody, man. You know? It's been a long time since people would take care of your family. I mean, don't get me wrong, shit happens. That shit still happens. But it's rare. You know? It's even rare that somebody will return a favor that you done for them. You know? You know, so hey man. I ain't, you know, it is what it is, man. If you caught it, you caught it. If you got it, you got it. If you get it, you get it. But if you don't, you know, you get what you put out. And you're putting out a bunch of negativity gonna befall you. If he's a miser, you know, and you stingy as a motherfucker, you know, valuing this paper shit that ain't really got no worth besides the bond certificate, that is the birth certificate, you know. And don't feel no type of way when you need, and the same motherfuckers that you shit on that was there for you when you ain't have a fucking thing, turn their back on you. That's how shit happens, you know. But you know, I'm just giving y'all all this, man, because it's a flip side to Ballin. Sure enough, a flip side to Ballin. So, you know. You get what you give, man. Take heed.